All right, to do scientific notation, we're just going to write this to what's called the power of 10. And if we have the decimal point, which is typically on the very end when there isn't one written, we're going to move that decimal point all the way to the last number. So it's going to look like 2.01. And then we count how many places. Well, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 places. So that is what we're going to multiply by the power. Our exponent is going to be, so we'll remove it, so there's just one number to the left of the decimal, and how many times did we move it is our exponent. So now let's look at it when we have a decimal number, but now we want to move it, once again, we want to move it so there's just one number to the left, so it's 5.1, and it's going to be multiplied by a power of 10. So how many times do we move it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times, but in this case, it's going to be a negative because we want to move it to the left. So negative will be moving the decimal to the left to get to the original, and positive would be moving the decimal. So if you have a big number, you're going to have a positive. If you have a small number, you're going to have a negative. So obviously, if we're going to go the opposite direction, and we have a positive number, we're going to make this number, we're going to move right because positives are to the right, and we're going to move it 9 times. So if I move it 9 times, I'd move it 2s to the number, so I have 7 more zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I'll put my commas every 3 spots just to be able to name a number. But basically, I'm moving it 2 numbers and then 7 more zeros. So let's look at this one where we have a negative. Same thing, the decimal is on the right of the 4, so I'm going to move it 1 time and then 6 more zeros. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and the 4, and I have my decimal point. Remember, the decimal point was right behind it. It's always 1, and so I move it 1 time and then 6 zeros, and that's how I get my decimal point 0.000004. To multiply with scientific notation, we're going to multiply the numbers. So it's 7 times 3.5, and if we do that multiplication, we get, let me see here, 7 times 3.5, 24.5. And then with exponents, the rule is to add. So we're going to take a -3 and add it to a 5, so we get 2. Now this isn't scientific notation because we have 2 numbers to the left, so I need to move this one more time. So if I move it one more time, I then have to add another exponent. So there it is in scientific notation. Now if we want to write it in standard notation, it would be 2, 4, 5, and 1 more 0. And so this would be our answer in our standard form. So I move the decimal 2 spaces to the right and 1 more because it's 3. So we want to do scientific notation with division. So we're going to divide our numbers. So we take, if we take 3.066 and divide it by 7.3, we get 0.42. And if we subtract our exponents, we'll get 10 to the 5th power. Now we want to write this in scientific notation. It's not scientific. I have to move this over 1. So really that's 4.2 times 10 to the -1 power, and we still have our 10 to the 5th power. So I just changed this part into scientific notation, and now I can finish this problem off by going 4.2 by adding my exponents, which gives me 10 to the 4th. So there's scientific notation. Now, in standard form, I'm going to move the decimals 4 spaces. Well, if I move it 1 spot, and then I would add 3 zeros. And so this would be standard form.